Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be diving into something super important, the hidden cost of a cure. We're going to be looking at the side effects of the very medicines we rely on to fight infections. So let's get right into it.
So what even is the hidden cost of a cure? Well, it's one of the most fundamental questions in all of medicine. We take these incredibly powerful drugs to make us better, but that power, well, it can come with a price tag. And that price is side effects. Today, we are unpacking that crucial balancing act between risk and reward.
So what are we talking about here? We're talking about anti-infectives. Just think of these as our microscopic defenders. They're the heavy artillery we bring out to fight everything from a bacterial infection to a major virus. They are designed to be these incredible, precise weapons in our medical arsenal.
But, and this is the key, just like any powerful weapon, there's always the risk of collateral damage. While these medicines are meant to target the bad guys, sometimes they can affect our bodies in ways we didn't expect. And understanding this trade-off is absolutely crucial for using them safely.
Okay, so let's start with something most of us can probably relate to or have at least heard about, allergies. These are the usual suspects that your doctor almost always asks about. And the classic example, the absolute poster child for drug allergies, is penicillin. This is exactly why your doctor always asks, are you allergic to penicillin? A reaction can be anything from a simple little skin rash to something as serious as anaphylaxis. That's a life-threatening reaction where your throat can close up.
Now, this brings us to a really fascinating idea called cross-sensitivity. You see, penicillins have these chemical cousins, like cephalosporins, and they have a very similar structure. Because they look so alike on a molecular level, if your body's allergic to one, it might get confused and mistake the other for a threat too. And that can trigger a whole other reaction. This is so important for doctors when they're figuring out which antibiotic is safe for you.
All right, we've covered the common stuff. Now we're going to shift gears. We're moving from allergies to the high-stakes side effects. These are a lot less common, but believe me, the consequences can be way more severe.
And our first high-stakes player is a class of antibiotics called Fluoroquinolones. You've probably heard of the most famous one, ciprofloxacin, or Cipro for short. It's an incredibly effective medicine, but it carries a very specific and pretty shocking risk.
And what is that risk? Well,
Tendon rupture. Yep, you heard that right. This powerful antibiotic has this rare but incredibly serious side effect that's linked to the tearing of tendons, most famously the Achilles tendon. The thinking is that the drug might interfere with how the body repairs collagen, which is, a crucial building block for all our connective tissues. It's just a wild reminder of how a drug made to kill bacteria can have these huge, unexpected effects on a totally different part of the body.
Next up, we have a condition with a name you are not going to forget: red man syndrome. Now, this one isn't actually an allergy. It's a reaction to the antibiotic vancomycin, but only if it's given too quickly through an IV. The person can get all flushed and itchy and even have their blood pressure drop. It's a perfect example of how it's not just what drug you get, but how you get it that matters so much.
This clinical description here sounds pretty serious, doesn't it? That's because it's describing our next critical side effect, a condition called Stevens-Johnson Syndrome. The sterile language really hints at just how severe this is. This condition is most famously linked to a class of drugs called sulfonamides, with Bactrim being a common example. It's a really severe immune reaction that causes the skin to literally blister and peel off. It's often compared to a full body burn. It's rare, thank goodness, but it really highlights the immense, and sometimes totally unpredictable, power of these drugs.
In the list, it really does go on. This table gives you a quick look at a few other major players. Aminoglycosides can cause something called ototoxicity. That's permanent hearing loss. Macrolides, like the common Z-Pak, can cause what's called a prolonged QT interval, which is a really dangerous disruption to your heart's electrical rhythm. And tetracyclines can make your skin super sensitive to sunlight and can even permanently stain the teeth of young children. Each and every one of these represents a unique, high-stakes trade-off.
So far, we've been talking mostly about bacteria, but it's not just about them. This same principle of risk versus reward applies when we're fighting all kinds of other microscopic invaders.
Let's take a look at a drug used to fight tuberculosis. It's called rifampin. It is a cornerstone of TB treatment, but it comes with one of the absolute most memorable side effects in all of medicine.
It turns your body fluids, I'm talking tears, sweat, urine, all of it, a harmless but very noticeable orange-red color. Now, it's not dangerous at all, but you can imagine it would be pretty startling if you weren't expecting it. It's a fantastic little memory trick for this drug.
And this principle just stretches across the entire spectrum. You've got powerful antifungals like amphotericin B that can be really hard on the kidneys. Certain antivirals can also harm the kidneys by forming these tiny crystals that can cause blockages. And even some anti-malarial drugs can have long-term effects on your vision. So the takeaway is crystal clear. Whether we're fighting bacteria, fungi, or viruses, there is always a calculation of risk involved.
Okay, so after exploring all of this, from simple rashes all the way to orange tears, what's the single most important thing to take away from all this? What's the bottom line?
Well, it all really boils down to one central idea, an idea that empowers both patients and doctors. And it's this: awareness is your best defense. Look, knowing these side effects exist isn't meant to scare you, not at all. It's meant to prepare you. Understanding the potential risks is the first and honestly the most important step toward using these incredible medicines safely and effectively.
And this is where you come in. This is your role in this partnership. First, always report your full medical history, especially past drug allergies. Second, understand that risk-reward trade-off we've been talking about. And third, be vigilant. Watch for any new symptoms and tell your doctor right away. You are the most important member of your own healthcare team.
And all of this leaves us with one final, pretty big question for the future. You see, as bacteria and viruses evolve and get more resistant, we're going to need even stronger medicines to fight them. So the real challenge becomes, how do we develop these new cures while making sure they don't become as dangerous as the very diseases they're designed to fight? That's a critical question for the future of medicine.